Let's go for a spin of two big Warriors news. The last is the most important, so let's go. Guy Santos will represent the D-League in the next game. Only one member of the Warriors made All-Star Weekend, and that was the Brazilian ace from Santa Cruz. During All-Star Weekend, the Golden State Warriors didn't have much of a presence. Stephen Curry is injured. Klay Thompson retired from the three-point shootout after 2018. Even the army of K-pop fans couldn't get Andrew Wiggins to play after missing a month. And Jonathan Kuminga was left out of the Rising Stars competition. Who played in Salt Lake City? Guy Santos, 55th pick of the 2022 draft, was chosen by the fans for the next match of the Development League. We've never heard of the online activities mobilized by members of the Asian men's national team, so it must be the fans who have seen Santos' rapid progress this year. He went from barely knowing the C-Dubs game to being a solid marksman and a high IQ player. He buries it in people. Santos scored 15 points on a 6-9 shoot in the next game for Team Scoot, which is captained by D-League guard Ignite and number 1 Scoot Henderson. They lost to Team Luka, led by leader Luka Garza instead of Doncic. Can we find your English stats line or your game score sheet? No, we cannot. The Warriors have high hopes for Santos, who could become only the second Brazilian player in the NBA, behind Cleveland Cavaliers third-line guard Raul Neto. Santos are understandably exciting in their home country, as well as in the city of Santa Cruz. He is likely to strike a two-way deal next season, even if Steve Kerr isn't thrilled about signing another 21-year-old. But for Santos, going to All-Star Weekend and playing against some of the best talent in the G League has been a great experience. And put on some stunning looks for the cold weather. Congratulations to young Guy, who does have the potential to be the next in the saga of Brazilian talent in the NBA, a well-deserved successor to Leandro Ramos Campeonato Barbosa. Next news. Draymond Green defeats Ja Morant in the All-Star Game. Green didn't make the All-Star Game this year, but his role as a backstage reporter for the All-Star Game has asked questions at an elite level. Draymond Green is a smart and aggressive player who always wants to exploit the opposing team's weaknesses. As an interviewer, he was no different. The Warriors' forward side hustle as a reporter for TNT during the All-Star break shouldn't be confused with his side hustle as a podcaster. This meant he was in charge of game interviews for Inside the All-Star Game, which aired from the bench, in which Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal brawled, fought, pinched and, occasionally, it also describes the action of the game. When interviewing Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies, Green took the opportunity to tune in on his opponent after making comments in December that he was doing well in the West. Like the many times Grizzlies members have said mean things, the comments backfire. After an 11-game winning streak, Memphis has lost 8 of its 9 games and is 5 games behind the Denver Nuggets in the West. Naturally, Draymond asked him, "How are you in the West?" Draymond asked Morant, adding, "Also, what teams are you paying attention to and considering? Should you consider this team?" Morant offered a diplomatic response, citing Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns and the Warriors' new look. In the end, Ja keeps his gun and Draymond laughs, "It's good for the West." Gotta love it. The Grizzlies star is likely anticipating, "Is the West okay?" questions. Draymond was not the first to ask this question, although he certainly asked it in front of the widest possible audience. What he didn't expect was Green teasing him about his ever-present father, T. Morant, Ja's coach, who also regularly clashed with opposing players and even fans like Shannon Sharpe. Draymond asked Ja if he would continue to work with his father, and the tone of his question made it clear that NBA All-Stars should stop relying so heavily on their father. On Saturday night at the Slam Dunk Contest, Green publicly challenged Morant for next year's Slam Dunk Contest. That's the problem Morant had with his fight with Draymond. He uses the microphone more than Morant and is very good, professionally good, at being entertaining and critical on TV. While this may have bothered Morant, at least Draymond didn't ask if he brought the lasers to Salt Lake. Leave your comments and subscribe and like this channel.